Good evening, everyone. I'd like to share a little story. I'm going to leave the name of the person out for now. But this story takes place about 50 years ago. But the teachings go back who knows how long. This person's a descendant of the ancient Aztecs. So the story begins with a man that was born in rural Mexico. And he was studying to be a medical doctor. He was almost done. Actually, I think he was in residency. And it's about 22, 23. And he was in a major car accident in the United States. And he had what was considered an out-of-body experience, according to him. So what happened was the car was in a major accident, and I think there was 2 or 3 friends in the car with him, and they all perished. But right after it happened, this person, all of a sudden the accident happened, and he saw his body, and he lifted up above the car, and he could see his friends, and then he could start seeing people show up, and then the medical ambulance showing up, and the medical team. He was unconscious the whole time, from point of impact until 30-some minutes later. And then they rushed him to the hospital. He ended up living, but all of his friends passed. So as he was in the hospital, he was telling the doctors that he could see what had happened to them and how they're being treated and what people were saying. And they said, "That's impossible. You were unconscious." And he said, "I know, but I had an experience." They don't know. They thought maybe he was maybe high or just from the accident, thinking that way. So he went to see his grandfather, who was a Miguel, I believe, a medicine man. And this person mentioned to his grandfather what had happened. So the person in the story's name is Don Miguel Ruiz. And he's talking to his grandfather. And his grandfather said, "I knew this was going to happen. I kept having dreams. I knew that you were going to have this gift. And the accident pushed it forward in your life. I'm sorry what happened to your friends, but your life is more than just a medical doctor." Now, Don Miguel Ruiz became a surgeon. I don't remember how long he practiced, but I think 10, 12, 15 years. He was pretty good at it, but he was told he was supposed to be a medicine man and had teach. There's 4 teachings. They're all one, really. So they're called the 4 agreements. And the Toltecs were part of the Aztecs. And a few thousand of them saw what was going on with the Spaniards coming from Spain and starting to become a little too high up in their culture and influencing their culture. You could tell that they wanted resources and money, and they were always looking for gold and weapons and fighting and taking land and figuring out where the gold was. So over a period of a few decades, I think this is back in the 15 or 1600s, they basically, a few thousand of them left. The descendants, right? So this is their different generations of the Toltecs that his grandfather and Don Miguel Ruiz. So the teachings are the 4 agreements. The first agreement is don't take things personally. If somebody walks down the street and they say, "Hey, you fool, you're walking on my side of the road," or "Hey, what are you doing?" or looking at you funny. That's their reality, that's their life. If you get upset somebody's saying something to you, especially somebody you don't know, and you want to engage with them, or you feel really bad, or you feel ill feelings against them, basically they have poison they've just given to you, and you drank it, in a sense. It's a metaphor. You're drinking somebody's poison when you get upset over something like that when you don't know someone. So don't take things personally. Not everything in this world is about you, even if it's directed towards you. I'm not talking about if they're trying to hurt you or trying to ruin your reputation. That's something all different in itself. So that's the first agreement. Don't take things personally. Not everything is about you. The second one is don't make assumptions. This one's really important. How many times in your life, from high school to college, if you went to college, or high school, or in your life, have you heard something about someone, instead of doing a little bit of research or investigation, you decide to assume that something is going on with this person, even though you don't know. You just assume because that's society's way of rushing through things, because we lack patience and the moral fortitude. If somebody's in your life quite a bit and you're not trying to get to know them and you're interacting with them, then it's a lack of patience, right? Wouldn't you agree? If you're making an assumption about someone, or somebody's spreading rumors or lies about someone. So most of our suffering in our life is from assumptions. We assume something about our boss, about our coworker, or about our spouse. You know, how many people have gone through life assuming that maybe certain people are having an affair on them, instead of asking them point blank, are you having an affair? And then doing, getting quiet and trying to figure out if their behavior is linked to potentially having an affair, even if they say there's no affair. Or you're just assuming and not talking to that person, or talking to their friends, or, there's many different scenarios you can go through. So don't make assumptions. Number 3 is only give 100%. There's no such thing as 110%. An athlete gets injured, it can't even give 100%. If you're sick, you can't even give what you normally can as 100%. You can give maybe 50, 60, 70, 80%. But if you're injured and you're trying to give more than 100%, and you can't play anymore for the rest of your life, or for that season, or for a week or two, then you give less than. You're trying to give too much. Same thing when you're, as a woman or a man, you're trying to give too much in the relationship. Right? Let's say that you're working 40 or 50 hours a week and you have to come home and clean. Don't give more than 100%. That's why a lot of people are ill and sick in this country, besides obviously what they're eating. But even athletes can give too much. They work 30, 40 hours a week, and then they're trying to train 15 or 20 hours a week. I was one of those people. It will catch up to you. We're not machines. So give 100%, nothing less, nothing more. There's no such thing as 110%. They've been teaching this for thousands of years, and most people agree with them. So number 4 is, so first one is don't take things personally. Number 2, don't make assumptions. Right? Number 3 is don't give more than 100%. Right? Always. Number 4 is being impeccable with your word. This is no special order. This is just how I can remember them. So your way of speaking, besides your actions, your way of speaking is the way that we communicate in this world. And you can tell the way a person's speaking by whether or not their words line up with their actions. So be impeccable with your word. So the root word of sin is to miss the mark. To be impeccable with your word, no one's going to be impeccable with their word all the time, right? 100% throughout their whole life. That's how we learn things. But as you get older, you should have more integrity, more impeccability with your word. It takes one lie for some people to ruin their whole reputation. So be impeccable with your word. Don't speak against others or out of alignment with yourself. Don't lie. Be impeccable. Be positive with your word. Number 2 is don't take things personally. Not everything is about you. Number 3, don't make assumptions. Most of our suffering comes from making assumptions. If you look back on your life, how many assumptions did you make? Maybe you ruined a friendship or relationship you had because you were assuming something, and people got tired of it. And I'm not dealing with this anymore. Yeah. And number 3 is give 100%, nothing less, nothing more. These are the 4 agreements. Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. Be impeccable with your word. And don't give more than 100%. And when you do these things, you start to master them. You become a master of your own life. Have a blessed night.